Welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. Now, this is where I take 5 different topics related to Magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each topic. I then move on to the end. At the end of the 5 minutes, I move on to the next topic. It's quick. It's snappy. You never know what you're going to get. Now, last week, a load of people said how much they loved the live performance special. Normally in a 5x5 I'll include a live performance where I've been caught at a gig performing. I'll show you the live performance and then I'll do a commentary track over the top. Last week I did a live performance special. There were 6 sections, 3 live performances and 3 commentary tracks. Now that was so well received, we're going to do the same thing again this week, but there's going to be a small difference. This is taken at a gig and all 3 sections, 3 different tricks, all to the same group. Because one thing that I get asked all of the time is, when you're performing, how long do you perform to each group? How do you transition from one trick to another? What do you say when you approach the group? How do you decide which tricks to go into? How do you move from one trick to another? How do you open? Which trick do you do to open? So I thought I'd take, I think I spent about 12 minutes in total with this group. And it was at wedding, it was outside, no tables. And I'm going to break it down. The first routine that I do is the first 2 phases of the Monster Coin routine, which is on Netrix and was on my DVD parlor. So it's a coins across going into a 3-fly with a jumbo coin production. The second routine, I then transition into a card routine and I do a sandwich called Double Sandwich, which again is on the Netrix. It's a sandwich routine with 4 aces. And then the final routine I transition into that is a routine called Mistique, which again is on the Netrix, and that's like a wild card with a regular deck of cards, a signed card and 4 aces. So you're going to see, we're going to break it down. So you see me approach the group, you see me go through the opening routine, you then see me go into the second routine, the third routine, and I'm doing a commentary track over the top of every performance. So we're going to be touching on stuff like angle management and how to move spectators around to get the best possible angle. We're going to be talking about stuff like audience management and how to manage the audience. So even though you're giving them something they can't examine, by focusing their attention somewhere else, they don't want to actually examine it because they're focusing elsewhere. So we're going to talk about audience management. We're going to talk about building reactions and how you actually structure your routines to build those reactions to make the reactions even stronger. So there's a lot we're going to touch about on this 5x5. If you want to see more ones like this, if you want to see more 5x5s where I do maybe a full set and I break it down, please let me know in the comments. This is something that I can absolutely do for you. I just need you to let me know. Anyway, without further ado, let's go straight into this week's 5x5. My name's Craig. I'm not as dodgy as I look. Nice to meet you. I'm the magician here today. Okay. So I'm past the entertainment. Very, very excited.
These are your glamorous.
Now, I have 2 things that I come with. First, a groupies. I've never had groupies before. Second of all, this is Matt. He's filming everything for Sandy. So, can I do a trick for you?
Yeah.
So much easier when people say yes. This is so good. We'll start with the coin trick. How's that sound? And what's your name?
Lena.
Lena, will you be my glamorous assistant? I need you to do 2 things. First of all, change places with this gentleman here. And second of all, if you can give your drink to someone you trust. I love how she completely bypassed you.
You hold the drink in your hand.
You can hold the hat. How's that sound? You can hold the hat. So, we have coins.
Okay.
Now, these are silver American dollars. They're over 100 years old. And the reason I use these is so you can see them from a distance. Now, before I do this, have a look at the coins. Check them out, make sure they're okay. Make sure there's no wires or magnets or trapdoors or secret compartments. Take your time.
So how big a dollar is?
I get paid by the hour.
Wow.
Yes.
Is that actual?
Yeah, very old. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, can you do this for me? Work it all over twist asking for help.
Please, sir.
Love that. So you rather trained? That was amazing. So I'm going to make these coins jump, pass, travel from one place to another by magic. By the way, sir, do you know what that's called? It is called showing off. You've watched me enough to get all my lines now as well, which is wonderful. Here we go. Up the sleeve, across the chest, down the other sleeve. Now you won't see them go. You will know when it happens by the look on her face. There will be a look. When they land in your hand, you're going to be like this.
Yeah.
Do you want to practice the look or do you want to just go with it?
I'm just going to go with it.
Don't blame you.
Let's do a bit of
Don't blame you. Do you see the 4 coins?
Yeah.
No sleeves, that's important. Watch carefully. 1, 2.
Oh! Come
See, the reason
on.
looks there, she actually felt the first one jump.
Yeah.
I know, it's so weird.
I can't believe it.
Let's do it again. How many coins there?
Poster.
3, and 1 over there.
Yeah.
You'll hear a clink this time. Watch carefully. Clink happens right. Number 2.
Oh my god.
Yes, but I go by the name of Craig, just so you know. Right. 2 coins left. Let's do this again. 2 and 2. This next one goes slow motion. Here we go. Yep, that's 3.
Come on, I can't believe it.
1 last point. Hold that one hand for me. That hand there. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. Do you want this last one to go the easy way or the hard way?
The hard way.
I'm so glad you said that. The easy way looks like that. It's not very good. Nothing in my hands. I'll take 1. You squeeze the other 3. Turn your hand over. Squeeze tightly. Watch that last point. You know what's going to happen. It's going to go from here to here. Can you just rub the back of my hand? Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the trick. It just feels nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's the perk of the job. That's the last one. If I told you it was there, would you believe me? That's the faith. Did you feel it? You didn't feel anything?
No, I don't actually.
Oh
my god. It's crazy.
I tell you what, there's too much to go. So let me get rid of 1 coin. Let me just get rid of 1 coin and step back a little bit so you guys can see. Can you all see it from there? You go that side down a little bit and you go over there, just so there's room. There you go, because I'm going to step back so everyone can see me. I'm going to do it again. Magicians shouldn't repeat a trick, but I'm going to do it again. But this time, I'll hold the coins at the tips of my fingers, and I'll make them jump from the tips of the fingers over here to the tips of the fingers over here. You'll see them disappear from here. You'll see them appear over here. At no point will they leave your point of view. So look, 3 coins. I've got rid of 1 to make it easier to follow. So 3 coins, 8 fingers, 2 thumbs, 2 hands, 10 fingernails, 10 knuckles, no sleeves, and I talk fast. Question. Do you see the 3 coins right there? Yes? If I do this, sir, do you know what that's called?
Working.
That's called showing your hand, turning your hand over. If you do it fast enough, watch, if you do it fast enough, you can actually make it look like the first coin jumps. I thought that was pretty good. Am I the only one? I love the look on your face there. Let me do it again. How many over there, sir? How many there?
3.
How many there?
2.
2. How many over there? Watch it go up and down like this. And as you do, the second one jumps across. That's coin number 2. Just for the skeptic, there's the last one, sir. Do you see it? From here to here, watch. Slow motion looks like this. You see it go. Full speed looks like this. You don't see it go. You combine the motions. You get the last one across like that. That's 1, 2, 3. That's all 3 coins. I know! But every trick needs a big finish. Are you ready for the big finish, sir? Hold your hand out for me. This is the big finish. Do you know why this is the big finish? It's mainly because you can't get any bigger than that. It's about as big as the I know, it's almost as big as the one behind your ear, Lottie. Don't worry about it, though. That's slightly bigger.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Okay, so this is the first routine of the set of 3. And you can see that I'm introducing myself to the group, shaking a couple of hands, saying hi, talking to them. Now, I've always talked about the best opening routine is not card material. And this is a perfect example. I'm not going to be opening up with card magic here. I'm actually going to be opening up with a coin trick. Now, the coins across is part of the monster coin routine, which you can learn from the net tricks. And the 3 fly is a version of 3 fly, which you can also learn from the matrix, from the net trick, sorry, or you can learn it from the Mirage coin set. So, first of all, I'm using dollar-sized coins here. When I'm performing, I do like to use dollars. I do use half dollars quite a lot, as you can see on the channel. But with this particular routine, I do like to use dollars. Now, I tend to find that it's nice to hand the coins out for examination at the beginning. Some people say to me, "Oh, you use American coins. Is that weird?" It's not weird. It's not weird at all. My attitude is, it's my job to present weird and wonderful things to people. If I'm going to do a chop cup routine and bring out a magic wand or whatever it may be, then why would I not use coins like this that look absolutely beautiful? Now, I do preface this by saying I collect American coins. Have a look at these. It's very important for me that I have people examine the coins, because later on they're going to want to examine the coins, and if I let them examine at the beginning, then that's that out of the way. Now, also notice that this is my opening routine. So it's very important to me that I establish my character and people can see that I'm just joking around. I'm not taking things at all seriously. And you can see that with the gags and the jokes and the lines and so on and so forth. Now, I do want to speak a second about the way that the coins are jumping across. I think David Roth first popularized this concept of the coins dropping from classic palm into the spectator's hand. It's a great way to do coins across, because if the coins just jump from your hand to your other hand, then what happens is you have the visual moment of the coins jumping across, which is great. When you open your hands, the coins have gone. With this, you get 3 beats. So the first beat is they see the coins vanish. The second beat is they see the reaction of the spectator when they feel them land. And the third beat is they see that the coins are actually there. So it escalates and it builds, if that kind of makes sense. So that's the first point that I want to come across, that I want to put across to you. When you're doing a coins across, I really do believe that you should do it into the spectator's hands. It makes it far more impressive from my point of view, and it allows you to do the final coin into the spectator's hands, which is always really good. As you can see here, this is a great moment. So you have the coins jump across from one hand into the other hand. Lots of gags, lots of jokes, lots of impossibility. However, the reason I'm doing this is just to set up for the second phase, because the second phase of this is actually the 3 fly. Now, the reason I do 3 fly after this coins across is a reason that Paul Wilson actually talked about in one of his ebooks many years ago. He talks about, and I completely agree with him, by the way, he talks about 3 fly being such a great trick that you need to kind of establish what the coins across concept is so that they can appreciate it more. If you just go straight into 3 fly, it's not as good as if you do a coins across first. I'm kind of almost educating them that the first phase is almost like a warm-up. Now, also notice that with 3 fly, I don't particularly want people behind me or even to the side of me. So notice I moved everyone around. After the coins across, I moved everyone so they were in front of me. And it's very easy to do that, but it's important when you are doing walk around magic to take control of a situation. Take control of a situation and move people to where they want to be. What's the best way to deal with angles? Well, the best way to deal with angles is by standing in the best place for the angles to make logical sense. And the best way to do that is to move people around. And I just say, hey, you're going to see this better if you stand over there. Can you stand over there for me? And yeah, notice the guy standing behind me and looking, but he's not really seeing what's going on. I also keep my hands kind of in front of my body most of the time, so they're not going to be able to see anything anyway. And also notice that with this routine, there's a certain clarity that you need to be aware of, right? You want to go. I see people rushing 3 fly an awful lot and moving around, and there's lots of movements, and it's very hard for people to follow what's going on. When you're doing 3 fly, you want to stay as stationary as possible so that the focus is on what's happening. And then we have the jumbo coin production. Now, this is just purely misdirection. As I move forward, I'm stealing the first coin, and as everyone's looking at the first coin, it allows me to steal the second coin. Again, when it comes to jumbo coins, I really do believe that the absolute best way to finish a coin act is with the jumbo coin production. Everybody is then focused on what you're doing, and it's just an amazing way to end an act. Otherwise, it's just a series of tricks. So, yeah, don't be scared. I meet people sometimes that are scared of producing a jumbo coin because they're worried, oh, what happens if somebody sees it in my hand? The best way to deal with something like that, which is also the best way to deal with anything, whether it be a watch steal or a jumbo coin production or anything like that, is just do it. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that's the best thing. Just do it. Don't be scared of it. Just do it. Anyway, let's go into the second routine now. So the second routine, I'm going to put the coins away and I'm going to go into card magic. And like I said, I always, or a lot of the time, I'll open with non-card material to establish credibility, and then I can transition into card tricks. And the 2 tricks that you're going to see next that are coming up are both really strong, and neither one of them is a typical ambitious card or anything like that. So let's have a look at that right now.
To a fever pitch. Let's continue with this carnival-like atmosphere that we're currently creating.
What's the trick?
I can't tell you anything. I'm not allowed to tell you anything.
There we go. Okay, so card trick time. You like card tricks? Good, we're going to do a few. We're going to do two.
Thank you so much for holding.
So, I have no idea what's going on. Oh, that's from the previous trick. There's some cards there. There we go. Before I start, would you like to shuffle them or do you trust me? I trust you. Nice. Great stuff. So we're going to have two people help me with this. You're going to help me and you're going to help me, if that's okay. I'm going to take out the aces for this. So we have the ace of clubs. We have the ace of hearts. We have the ace of spades, and finally the ace of diamonds. Now you get to choose. So would you like the two red aces or would you like the two black aces? Your choice.
Okay, black.
There you go. We'll put these just up there for a second. All right. And you get the two red aces. Now, because you've got the red aces and the black aces, take any black card you want to. So there any black card that you want to take. Very good. Because you've got the red aces, take any red card out that you want.
Any red card?
Any red card. Remember the cards, don't forget them, that's very important. Okay, your black card goes back, sir. Just say stop. Lovely, put your card back there. Thank you. Your red card goes back, just say stop. There you go, your red card goes back there. Two cards, two different parts of the deck. I'll let you choose, sir. Would you like me to shuffle them or leave them as they are?
I'll give him a quick shuffle.
Oh, you want to shuffle? Okay, yeah. Can you pass your drink? You'll need two hands. There we go, give them a quick mix-up. And you've still got your aces? Yes, very good. You've still got your aces. So here's the situation for a deck of cards that has been completely and totally shuffled. We have cards. So I'm going to start on with your cards. Can you pass me? I'm not going to change the order of the cards. You've shuffled them into any particular order. I'm happy with that order. Watch the two red aces. The two red aces are going to find your card. You see, if I take the two red aces, the diamonds and the hearts, wave them over the pack once, twice, three times, one card appears in between them and one card only, and that would be the five of hearts. Was that your card?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good. Apparently I'm the only one. That was okay, wasn't it, really? Now I'm going to find yours with the black aces. Do me a favour so the wind doesn't take them. Can you just put your foot, there you go, just hold on to those. Watch the black aces. Watch carefully, don't blink. The two black aces are going to disappear into the pack to find your card. First, the ace of spades, going, gone. The ace of spades disappears into the pack to find your card. The ace of clubs is going to disappear into the deck to find your card as well. Don't blink, you'll see it go. Just like that. Now the two aces have gone, I just need to bring them back with your card. It looks like this. You just give the card to rub one more time and the two black aces come back with one card. If that was your card, sir, would that be good? Turn it over. Was that your card? Hang on, five of hearts. Wasn't that your card? But hang on, your card's been there in between the... No. So weird.
So this is the second routine in the set, and in this one we're transitioning from coins into cards. Now notice, as I'm talking about what's happening, I'm putting the coins back away in the hold room which I got them from. You don't have to do this, and sometimes I will, sometimes I don't, but from a reset point of view, if I can reset stuff in between performances, it makes things a little bit easier because it means that I'm not having to worry about it a little bit later on. Now again, also please notice that the previous trick I did involved cards ending up, a few of them face up, a few of them face down. Some people stress about that. I don't. I just sort them out and immediately go into the routine. Now this routine I'm going to do here is one that I've done for many years, and it's available on the Netrix. You can learn it from the Netrix, but it's a double sandwich routine basically. And one of the reasons I like this, it involves two people. And I like to pick one person on my right and one person on my left. My goal when performing close-up magic is to try and get as many people as possible involved in the performance. And one way to do that is to get people from different sides to be involved in what you're doing. Now, I like to have the people with the red card, the red aces pick a red card, and likewise with the black aces pick a black card, just because there's a certain amount of clarity there. Now, in terms of the control, I want you to notice something, which is the control I tend to use in this sort of situation is a pass. And then I said to the gentleman on the side, "Hey, would you like to give the cards a shuffle?" "Oh, you do." Now, 9 times out of 10, people don't want to shuffle the cards. But in that case, he did want to shuffle the cards. So what do you do in that situation? Well, as you saw, I just palmed the cards off the top, let him shuffle the cards, and then put them back on top. And notice when I was doing that, I made a shuffling action. It makes my hands look more natural. It's a classic thing, but it's something that a lot of magicians forget about. I suppose the point here that I really want you guys to understand is don't get flummoxed about anything. I've talked on this channel before about think about all the different ways a trick can go wrong and think about what you're going to do if it does go wrong. Well, you know, if I hadn't thought this through, it might have thrown me when he went, yeah, I want to shuffle the cards. But as it happens, it didn't because I'd already thought through what I was going to do in that sort of situation. Now, in terms of the actual effect, the first revelation is a sandwich revelation. Don't overlook this. I met a magician a little while ago who said, oh, it's overplayed. I don't do sandwich reveals anymore because, you know, everyone's seen it. Well, no, not everyone's seen it. Magicians might have seen it, but a lot of lay people, it's the first time they've probably seen close-up magic. So please don't think that's the case. However, I don't really like to do just straight sandwich routines. I do like to have a little bit of a kicker, and that's what this routine has. It has a great kicker because just at the end, just when they think they know what's going on, you pull the wool over their eyes and you pull out you pull out a transposition. Now, one thing I want you to note from an audience management point of view is when I find the ladies card on the right, obviously I switch the card, I'm displaying it, and then I focus on the person on the left. Also notice that this routine is done walk around, it's done standing up. So I give the sandwich back to the lady, and that card has now been switched. Now, I know a lot of magicians that would not do this because they're worried, oh my gosh, I'm putting a card in her hand, she's going to be holding it for 30, 40 seconds, and if she turns it over, she's going to realize that that's not their card. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. Now, I'm perfectly fine with doing sequences like that, which some people might consider more ballsy. And all you have to do is ask yourself, what would happen if she did look at the card? Well, what would happen is she'd turn the card over and it's the other guy's card, which is a magical effect anyway. So if she turns the card over and sees it's the other guy's card and it's changed, it's still a change that's happened in her hand. But in reality, nobody ever does that. And one of the reasons that nobody ever does that is simply because the focus, where you focus people's attention. So as soon as I give her the cards, I'm not placing any importance on those cards. From their point of view, from the audience's point of view, those aces with that card in between, that's done. I've used those. I've found her card with the red aces. I'm now moving on to the black aces. And I focus all the attention on the black aces with the card in between the black aces. And everyone's attention is over there. And I'm keeping the performance moving quickly so that when we get into a situation where the second ace is revealed and it turns out to be her card, it makes the reveal of that card, the transposition, stronger because she's been holding that in her hands from seemingly the very beginning and you never even touched it. But it's about understanding audience management and it's about understanding focus and where you need to focus the audience's attention. As long as they don't suspect that there's anything going on, then they won't want to examine it. And that's a clear example of focusing the audience's attention in the correct way. So that's the second routine of the set. What we're going to go into now is we're going to go into the third routine. So we're going to show a performance of it, then we're going to do another commentary track. And this third performance takes place straight after this routine. So from a transition point of view, I'm still using the aces. So I've got a reason for the aces to still be out. And I'm picking one of their cards and I'm having one of their cards signed. Okay, so let's have a look at that.
Hold us for a minute. We'll try one last thing as I've got your card. So give it a sign for me on the face, not on the back. Not on your. I'll hold you for a minute. Not on your face. The face of the card. Yes. Feel free to sign Maya's face. I will then shuffle her into the back and try and find her. Right. There we go. Spot. No problem. So, what you're about to see right now is an illusion. What you're about to see right now is not real. It's going to look real, but it's not. I'm going to put your card into my pocket. We're going to get back to it in a second, okay? Now, watch the aces. I'll also need your hand as well. You'll see why in a minute. Nice and flat like a table. Can you hold her drink for a minute? And as I place cards into your hand, you're going to put your finger on top so they don't blow away. Maya, you can hold onto the deck. We now have pretty much everybody doing something. You just need to watch. So watch the ace of spades, watch the ace of clubs, watch the ace of hearts, watch the ace of diamonds. I'm going to create the illusion that one of these aces stands out. And all I have to do is a twist like this. And when I do, one of those aces starts to look, not yet, nothing has happened yet. Watch the ace of clubs. It's when I give it a little twist that it happens. And now you see one of those aces starts to look like your card, Tim. Now that's not your card. I know it looks like your card, but it's not. Your card's in my pocket. This is an optical illusion, but I think it's a rather convincing one. Hold your hand out for me. We're going to put that 2 there. Put your finger on top so it can't blow away. Let's do it again. This time with the one in the middle, which is the heart. Watch the heart. It goes in between the other two. We give it a little twist. We wait a second, and then hopefully that one starts to look like your card as well, Tim. So now we have 2 cards that look very much like your card. And we have 2 cards left. We have the diamonds and we have the spades. Don't watch the spades. Watch the diamonds. See, it's the diamonds that when I shake it, starts to look like your card as well, Tim. You're looking very confused, which is good. Now, if you've been following at this point, you will know that we have 3 cards that look a little bit like Tim's card. That's impossible. Tim, did you sign your card 3 times? The last one is the hardest one because there's nothing to cover that ace up with. So all I have to do is just twist it like that and it starts to look like the 2. So we now have 4 cards that really do look like Tim's card. Tim, do you remember at the very beginning I said this whole thing was an illusion? It is. The reason I know it's an illusion is because your card, Tim, has been up here in my pocket from the very beginning. Which means if your card's been there from the very beginning and I break the illusion, you'll see these always have been and always will be the 4 aces. Thank you.
Okay, so let's have a look at this third and final routine of the set. For me, this is the strongest routine, which is why I've left it till last. And notice it takes place straight after the second routine. So this is the guy's card. I hand him a pen, I ask him to sign it. Now also notice, I take the drink off him. When you're in a walk-around situation, one question I get is, what do you do when somebody's holding on to the drinks? How do you get them to do anything? How do you get them to be involved in the magic? Simply by thinking it through and by working out when you need people to be holding what and what you can do to assist them. There's no tables around, so instead, the way to do this is to take the drink off the gentleman for a second so that he can sign the card. Now, I want you to, we're going to further expand on what we were talking on earlier in terms of audience management. Now, notice I'm getting that lady to put her forefinger on her palm. The reason is, in a second, I'm going to get her to hold on to cards. Now, the reason I tell the audience I want them to put the finger there is to make sure the cards don't blow away. In reality, it's so that they can't turn the cards over prematurely. Now, this is a wild card that you can also learn from the net tricks. And one other note, actually, notice I give the deck to somebody to hold on to. I don't like putting the deck into my pocket. I prefer to give it to someone to hold on to so they can see that everything is open and above board. So this is like an impromptu sandwich routine. There's no gimmicks or anything like that. And the 4 aces are one at a time going to turn into the signed card, which was placed into my pocket at the beginning. And it's just a series of double lifts and so on and so forth. Now, in this situation, obviously I'm doing a double. So when that card goes into her hand, it's an ace. And I know there's going to be magicians that are going to be thinking, oh my gosh, what happens if she turns that card over? Especially in a second when they see that the signed card is now there. Well, again, it's just about audience management. Now, even though I'm not apparently looking at her cards, I'm keeping an eye on her out the corner of my eye to make sure that she's doing what I've asked her to do, okay? And this is the perfect example of a couple of different concepts here. So the first concept is, if you haven't got a table, it's not a problem. All you have to do is you just have to use spectators' hands in an intelligent way. But the other thing is, from an audience management point of view, as long as you're confident, you can get away with absolutely anything. Now, this is obviously just a series of colour changes. I want to point out how amazing the frustration count is when it's used properly. And it really is. When the frustration count is used properly, it really is a very strong moment. You see that halfway through this routine, when I show that I've got 3 cards that have got their signature on it, it's really strong. It's a really strong moment, they're convinced that they see 3 cards with their signature. There's a lot going on in this routine. And again, without labouring the points, it comes down to focus. Where are you focusing the audience's attention? Are you focusing it on your hands? Are you focusing it on their hands? As long as you understand the importance of focus, you can literally get away with almost anything. You can have cards or objects put into a certain person's hand, and as long as you show no importance to those cards at all, it's totally not an issue. Absolutely, totally not an issue. So, with that in mind, let's now bring this back into the studio and wrap this whole thing up.
So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Do me a favour and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you want to see another 5x5 like this? In which case, let me know in the comments down below. Do you want to go back to the original format, which we will be doing more often? But if you want to see more live performances, I can do that as well. Don't forget, guys, if you want to support me, please go to www.thenetrix.com and you can sign up for a month and try it out and see what the fuss is about. Every single routine that you saw me perform in this video, the coin trick, the 3 fly, the wild card, and the sandwich routine, they are all available to learn immediately from The Netrix. So if you're going to go check them out on there, you can do. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. Tomorrow, Tuesday, we have a special Matt test where we're going to be looking at an older item of mine, and Matt's going to be running it through the Matt test. So go check that out. I'll be back again soon. Thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.